What is up? This is Blood and Beer MMA podcast where we drink beer and we talk about blood sports. MMA, WWE, AEW, just professional wrestling. But today we're talking MMA, we're talking UFC 270, we're talking Ngannou vs. Gane, Moreno vs. Figueiredo. First pay-per-view of the year. Actually, first, let's start by recapping that event last weekend. The only fight that really stood out to me was the main event, Giga versus Calvin Kattar. Kattar looked awesome with just his striking attack, and Giga got shown that there's levels to this shit. Dude was calling out Alexander Volkanovski, and he's still talking shit after he lost. I mean, Calvin Kattar fucked you up, dude. Take the loss and take it in stride. You would not win 9 times out of 10. 10 times out of 10, Kattar is fucking you up because he just made that Giga kick mean dick shit. That's my first thing. Wanted to get that off my chest because I don't think that Giga should be out here talking shit like he is, saying 9 times out of 10 I beat Calvin Kattar, and and then he's like, fuck Korean Zombie and Alexander Volkanovski being happy someone lost. Well, you were talking shit to them, so they're happy you lost because you're a little bitch. That's all for UFC Fight Night from last weekend. I just needed to get that out. And then, today, as far as UFC 270 goes, we're going to be talking the Francis Ngannou contract dispute, as well as the fight, of course. We're going to be talking all the fights except the early prelims because they suck. We're going to be talking Brandon Moreno's mindset versus Davison Figueiredo's mindset going into this fight. Completely different universes right there. And before we get into that, though, we'll be making our picks. We'll be breaking down these fights and who we think's going to win. A lot of debuts on this card, though. A lot of debuts. First matchup on the prelims, not the early prelims, we have Jack Della Maddalena versus Pete Rodriguez. Della Maddalena I think he's from Australia, and he was on the Dana White Contender Series. Dude's a beast. He's got crisp striking. He's got a competent ground game. Really good boxing, honestly. Just looks like a stud out there. I think he stopped his fight in the Contender Series to get a contract. Dude's fun to watch, and it's a tough fight for a guy with only 4 fights in Pete Rodriguez. Pete Rodriguez fights for the IFF, the Icon Fighting Federation. He's got 4 KOs. That's all he's got, though. 4-0, 4 KOs. That's all I know about him. So, I mean, he might be able to catch Della Maddalena because everybody's got a puncher's chance. But I'm picking Maddalena by mauling. Probably a second round stoppage, maybe a first round stoppage just because he outclasses him. But if Pete Rodriguez does pull out the victory, I bet it's a flash knockout, and congrats to you, Pete Rodriguez. But yeah, JDM's taking that one. 10 times out of 10. After that, we have a pretty fun matchup with Kevin Giles, who's always fun to watch fight. And then we have the combat sports prodigy, the prodigal son, Michael Moraes. This guy, both his parents are judo coaches. He trains with Brandon Moreno. He started MMA when he was like 14. He's only 22 now, but he had his first pro fight at 16, I want to say. Don't quote me and don't come hating at me, bitches. I want to say, though, 16 is when he had his first pro fight. And Giles is susceptible to the submissions at this higher level. He's playing gatekeeper this time, so we'll have to see how he does. And I think he's going to get beat. Giles is going to get beat, but Moraes, he might crash under the lights. He might not know what to do. Giles might have just that dictatorship over the ring with being a vet in the UFC and everything. He knows what to do. He knows how to win rounds. It's gonna be a fun fight, but I think Moraes is gonna pull it out with a second round submission maybe. But again, don't quote me on it because I don't have a fucking clue. After that, we have Rowney. I know I'm saying his first name wrong. We'll call him Ronnie Barcelos. Ronnie Barcelos versus Victor Henry. And Victor Henry looks like Weird Al Yankovic if Weird Al Yankovic was a fighter. I'm not saying he's not good. He's another guy making his UFC debut. So this is the fourth guy that hasn't fought in the UFC yet in 3 fights. Barcelos, on the other hand, he's an experienced fighter in the UFC. He's 5-1 in the UFC. Only lost as majority draw. He's a great striker. He beat someone that's fighting on the main card in Said Nurmagomedov. And yeah, I don't see this being a fun debut for Victor Henry. I'm thinking that it's probably going to get stopped, but who knows? Maybe Victor Henry's this badass wrestler that's just going to come out there and neutralize everything Barcelos can do, hold him down, lay and pray, and that's how it goes. But I don't see that happening. I see Barcelos taking it with a boring decision win, with touching him from the outside because he wants to show that he's the vet and he's experienced. Because people like to do that in the UFC. They like to show experience instead of just going all out and getting that stopping. Whatever. And then the fight I'm looking most forward to on the prelims is Ilia Topuria versus Charles Jourdain. Air Jourdain. Picking Topuria in this fight, but honestly, it could go either way. Topuria is the biggest favorite on the card, which is surprising to me because Jourdain's a beast kickboxer. I think that it's going to be a lot closer than what they're calling for. But Topuria did finish Ryan Hall, who said I think he broke his hand in that fight, but he finished him. He's got great ground game. He's got great striking. He's just a total package, this Topuria guy is. And Jourdain has great kickboxing. He's awesome in the boxing area. I think he took it short notice, which might be why he's such a big underdog. But this is my pick for fight of the night. I think it's going to be a bloodbath. I think as long as Jourdain keeps it standing, he doesn't get finished. But if it goes to the ground, I think Topuria is probably going to get a rear naked or... yeah, that's probably all I see him getting is a rear naked because Jourdain's he's not no slouch, but those jiu-jitsu guys just know how to work to their back. And once they get there, it's over. It's capiche, kaput, you're done. You're done. I'm choking you. And then we move on to the main fucking card. Let me take a drink before we talk about the main fucking card with Rodolfo Vieira versus Wellington Thurman. Beef Wellington Thurman. Alright. I think a lot of burpees in that one. A lot of fucking burpees. Call me CrossFit. Rodolfo Vieira. Amazing grappler, world-class jiu-jitsu, not just for the UFC, just in general, world-class jiu-jitsu. Guy's a beast. I think all but one of his 8 victories have been by submission, and the one that wasn't was a knockout. And his only loss came because he definitely gassed the fuck out against, I want to say it's Daniel Rodriguez, who put him in a rear naked and tapped him out, which was insane. I mean, people were going nuts when that happened. It was awesome to see, but I'm picking Adolfo Vieira because Beef Wellington Thurman, guy is, he's good. He's got a lot of submissions. He's got a couple knockouts, but he got knocked out in 2 of his last 3. He won a split decision against Sam Alvey, which I love Sam Alvey. Guy's so much fun to watch fight. I mean, he brings it every time, but he's lost like 7 or 8 in a row. He's there to fight, and the UFC's there to see him get beat up. But I think Thurman just is not going to be able to handle Adolfo's striking, his ground game. It's going to be a mess, and I have Vieira by finish on that one. Next fight, I already mentioned this motherfucker, Said Nurmagomedov, loser to Ronnie Barcelos. He's fighting Corey Stammen, and I think it's going to be kind of like watching Islam versus Drew Dober, if anybody watched that fight. Just kind of outclass, you might keep it competitive, but instead of the ending of the Drew Dober fight, like how it was a submission, I think that this is going to be a boring 29-28 or 30-27 across the board for Said, with some drowning with their Dagestani wrestling. If it stays on the feet, I have Corey Stammen, but those guys out of Dagestan, they drown you when they get uncomfortable, and that's what you got to do to win. That's what you got to do to win. It just fucking sucks to watch. It really sucks to watch. But yeah, I'm probably gonna say Said by boring decision on that one. Come at me with some hate if you don't think so, or if you're from Dagestan and you hate that I said that. And then after that, we have the always fun, the hyperactive, aggressive toddler Michel Pereira just bouncing off walls, doing backflips on Nico Price's face. Dude, don't give a fuck. He says, fuck a gas tank. I have it all there. I'll do anything and everything, guys. Just a flipping, spinning, crazy person out there. So much fun to watch. And he's fighting Andre Fialho, who I've never heard of before, which, another UFC debut. Surprised to see someone making their UFC debut that late on a pay-per-view card. But, I mean, hopefully it's an exciting fight. Everything with Michel Pereira is a fun fight to watch. I think that he'll probably win by unanimous decision. Probably going to lose the last round due to gas. And that's just because I haven't seen him get a knockout recently. Or not anything spectacular as far as knockouts go. But I think Pereira takes it against the newcomer. Who knows? So many debuts on this goddamn card. So many debuts. And now we get into our co-main event of the evening. Brandon Moreno versus Davison Figueiredo 3. This fight could be awesome, or it's going to be just like the second fight. The first fight was a fucking war. It ended in a draw. And that was because Figueiredo kept getting points taken. Otherwise, we would have never had this trilogy happening. The second fight, Figueiredo looked like he couldn't handle the weight cut. He just looked gassed. He didn't look prepared for the fight. And Moreno looked like that's all he's been focusing on is just fucking fighting Figueiredo. Now he seems like he's focusing on just being the fucking champ and continuing to be the champ. He's training with Francis. He's training with Canelo. He's training with my boy Michael Moraes that I mentioned earlier in the show. I mean, this dude is hyper focused, and Figueiredo seems like he's focused on killing Moreno, which is a good thing to have, I guess, but he just seems focused for all the wrong reasons. I mean, you saw after the second fight, he picked him up and he's like, yeah, you won, you're awesome. And now he's like, you betrayed my buddy Henry Cejudo. You betrayed him. And, Henry Cejudo didn't pick him in the Ultimate Fighter for one. He let Joseph Benavidez pick him. And then he's surprised that he helped Benavidez train when Benavidez helped train him to win the Ultimate Fight. Just fuck all that. Figueiredo is trying to find drama where there's no drama. He says, I'm going to kill him. I'm going to knock him out. Worry about making the weight first, because that's been a problem at 125 in your career. You're way too big for 125, I think. I don't think that he's going to be able to. I don't think there's any amount of dieting you can do to make your bones lighter and make yourself lighter than 125. I mean, I think when he was winning the title before, it was because he was able to make that cut and was able to dominate everybody at that because he was so muscular, so much stronger than everybody at 125. But now Moreno showed that he's got the skill. He can withstand that early storm because he knows that weight cut fucks you up. We saw it after the first fight. I don't know if anybody saw it, but this guy, he got taken out on a stretcher. Looked like he was dying after the first fight just because of the weight cut and the damage that it did to his body. I mean, let's see. I don't know. I think that Moreno just seems so focused. He's got such crisp boxing. His chin is a fucking brick. I mean, dude can take whatever shot you throw at him. He's never been knocked out. His ground game is competent. He's got great wrestling, good jiu-jitsu. He's gonna choke you out. I mean, if it goes to the ground, he's choking you out. You're not gonna choke him out because he don't give a fuck. And you're not gonna knock him out because his boxing is too good, or he's not getting caught with those shots that you're catching everyone else with, Figueiredo. So I think it's gonna be Moreno by late stoppage or decision, and I don't know. 125 is so small for Figueiredo. I mean, I hear the guy walks around at like 155, 160. That's so much weight to cut. To cut 20% of your body weight to make that, I mean, my God. And Brandon Moreno builds Legos. Legos keeps the mind sharp. I builds Legos when I can. They're expensive. I builds them though with my spares. He's a winner for that. I gotta say that. Going to the main event of the evening. We have Ngannou versus Gane, former training partners. Ngannou doesn't like Gane. Gane doesn't seem like he could give a fuck what Ngannou thinks. I think that first, let's talk about the contract before we get into the fight specifics. I feel like it'll be a good transition. I don't know. I think Ngannou should resign. I think he should make more money than what he's making now if he's only making $500,000 or $600,000 a card because people do want to watch him fight. But he's got to understand that, I mean, you can't be expecting $20 million out of these cards. He's always bitching about, I have to finance to be able to pay for my camp. But then he's going on tours to Africa. He's posting all these lavish pictures. Fuck that. I make much less than you a year, buddy. I'm not feeling bad for you because you just can't manage your money. I mean, get a financial advisor or something, you fucking dweeb. But aside from that, I think he should resign with more money. I think that also he's distracted going into this fight. And if he does fight Tyson Fury after he fights Cyril Gane, he's going to get fucking waxed. Tyson Fury is one of the best boxers of all time, especially in heavyweights. And Ngannou hits hard. He hits with 4-ounce gloves. And Tyson Fury, that dude got hit by the hardest punches that Deontay Wilder has thrown. And I think Deontay Wilder hits harder than Francis Ngannou. If you've seen Deontay Wilder fight, this dude is like damn near killing people. And he couldn't put away Tyson Fury because Tyson Fury just doesn't give a fuck. And I don't think that with way bigger gloves, you're going to be able to knock him out. And that's your only chance. So give up on the boxing, Francis. Stick with UFC because no other MMA promotion is going to be able to give you what you need. You think Triad, you think fucking Bellator or PFL are going to be able to pay you what you need? Fight a whole season for $1 million. End of the matchup, though. I'm pretty sure this is everybody's opinion on it. One shot by Francis. One clean shot by Francis, and it's over. But Cyril, he keeps it on the outside with his jab, with kicks, with teat kicks. he's gonna probably pull away with it, and it's just his striking is the best that we've ever seen in the UFC at the heavyweight level. I mean, his movement more so than just striking. I mean, his in and out, his ability to hit when not getting hit. Cyril Gane is a different animal than anybody's ever seen in the UFC, and Francis truly believes he's gonna stop him in the first or second round, which can totally happen if he catches him. It's just we haven't seen anyone be able to catch him. I mean, JDS did it, kind of, but then he got slept. Not slept. He got knocked out with an elbow behind the ear. Clean shot. But, I mean, Cyril is a different animal, and he's so green to MMA. I mean, he just started fighting a couple years ago, and he's a beast. I mean, dude, nonstop, just putting away Jairzinho Rosenstrike, Alexander Volkov, Derek Lewis, JDS. I mean, dude has got the resume. He's not just someone that they elevated to elevate. I mean, guy's a beast, and I think that Francis is better than Derek as far as striking goes, but will he be able to solve the Cyril puzzle? And if Cyril can get out of round 2, I think that Francis is fucked, because I don't think that gas tank is going to support that frame. So I have Cyril Gane winning this fight by decision or late stoppage, but it's tough. It could go either way, honestly. It could go either fucking way. I'm not sure who's going to pull that one out. I'm super pumped for this card, though. So thanks for tuning in, whoever did. Like, comment, subscribe if you want. Let me know your thoughts. Call me an idiot if you disagree with me or something. Just, let me know what you think about the show and who you think's going to win these fights. Comment your picks below, and look forward to the post-fight show that I'll do. And also follow me on Twitch, Matt Switchy, MattsWitchy. I do a lot of live reaction to these cards or watch parties. I won't have the card on my channel, but just talking about it and everything. I engage back, so let me know what you think. Follow me on there, and yeah, just leave comments. Thank you for stopping by. My name's Matt, and this has been Blood and Beers.